Welcome back to our channel, friends. This is Sonia here from Growing Craft. Thank you so much for dropping in. Now, before we start this video, please do make sure that you subscribe to our channel and do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you do not miss out any of our updates. Also, do check our website www.growingcraft.com and let's get started. So today it's time to play around with some old carton boxes. So here is a little box which I got from my Amazon courier, and I'm going to alter this one. I'm just cutting up all the closing flaps, and I'm going to cover it up really well with my Abro tape. Now, what is Abro tape? It's a tape which is usually used by carpenters, but in our crafting industry, we have been using it a lot, either with our stencils or for masking or for adding textures, and also for these are very good, very good adhesive when it comes to covering up any of your old boxes and adding an extra strength to your cardboard boxes. Yeah, I have also done a video tutorial where I had done making our own washi tapes with these Abro tapes. So do check this video on our channel. I'll try to post that link down in the description box. Do check that. Now I'm just sealing up the bottom part of my boxes really well, and when I am happy with it, I am going to make sure that I cover it up completely with my gesso. Now on the inner sides, I'm just going to cover up all my flaps and stick this well, because I am not going to do too much of work inside, because anyways this box will be used for just keeping off extra nicks and necks of my tables. Now here I am using a very heavy gesso by Fevicryl. I will post the alternate link of all these supplies in the description box. You can check that. Of course, I am going to share all the links also, so that it's easier for you all to buy, because in this corona time, definitely stepping out is not a good idea at all. So here with my flat brush, I am covering my box with my gesso. I know this video is a very quick and speedy one, and this is a very short video tutorial because there was not too much of work, but this is just a perfect video to know that how with a very lesser amount of work you can create something beautiful and something interesting. And upcycling, recycling are the things which is really in, and they are so good to just create something handy and organizing your craft table or your organizers or your tables or your wardrobes, and it's just perfect. So here I am applying my gesso, and I'm going to do this on my complete box from outside, and I will make this dry really well so that we can move on to the next step. And once I am happy that it has dried out, it's time to use my decoupage napkin. Now this is one of the roller napkins which I have used in one of my watch boxes, I think, and then I was left with the huge portion of this napkin, and I just felt that it is going to be really good in this box. So here I am using my Mod Podge. This is one of my favorite adhesive when it comes to sticking your decoupage papers or your napkins or your pattern papers. So if you don't have this, I am sharing the link down below, as I always do. But I'm also sharing the link of a tutorial where I have done on how to making your own gesso, chalk paints, and all the basic supplies for your decoupage and mixed media. You can check that. It's going to be a great help. Now I have removed the plies and I'm sticking this, and as it's a very small box, so sticking up was much more easier, and I did not have to do too much of fussy cutting work because this napkin has a floral print completely. Now when it comes to decoupage napkins, there are two ways. Either the napkin will have a complete pattern all over, or it will have it in patches. Now how to use both of them? If it's a floral pattern, or like be any pattern on the complete napkin, you can just use it as it is. You don't have to trim down any of the parts specifically unless until you want it. And if it has some of the specific motifs or designs, say cycle or an elephant or any character, then you can of course trim that down. Just take out all the excessive plain white papers from the background or the designs which you don't want, and stick it on your base. So it's super easy. If you just check out my channel, you will see that I have used almost all kind of decoupage papers, decoupage napkins, pattern papers for my decoupage and mixed media art, and you will get a fair enough idea that what kind of papers we should use. Now just sticking up the remaining portions at the back, we really don't have to be concerned about this part because that's anyways will be not visible. So this looks pretty gorgeous and I'm super happy with this one. I'm just pressing down it from all the nooks and corners just to make sure that there are no bubbles and wrinkles. You need to do this step very easily and very gently. Now once my box has dried out, I'm going to apply one layer of varnish. I am so addicted to my varnish that usually this jar should last for a quite long time, but it finishes off very well because I apply it very generously on almost all my projects. Now here I'm using my heat gun to dry this up, and I will make sure that it dries up completely so that we can move on to the next step. The fun part of doing online shopping is I love experimenting with different supplies, and that's the reason I love placing orders with different supplies. So this is one of the beautiful mold. It's a beads necklace mold which I am going to use, and here I am using my air dry clay. Now when you take out the complete line of the clay from the mold, it is going to be like a very beautiful necklace, beads necklace, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. So I just felt that I am going to use this around my container, and that's going to look beautiful. So what I'm doing is I'm just rolling up my clay to the size I want, and in this mold specifically you have 3 different sizes. So you can choose a size as per your project. If you have a bigger project, you can have the bigger beads. If you have a smaller, you can have the smaller one. But for my size of container, I just felt that the medium beads are going to look beautiful and delicate ones. So here I am just pressing up the clay as much as I can. I just want to make sure that there are no gaps or bubbles anywhere around. Once I'm happy with this, then I'm going to pluck out my clay. Now either you can just leave it to dry for some time, because anyways from these silicone molds taking it out is way more easier because when it's wet it's going to be a little delicate. Now I wanted to make sure that I just stick this when they are wet. So that's why it was a little getting difficult for me, but then it's absolutely fine because like I said, these are like a pearl or necklace, so even if you have to joint it from some of the parts, it's absolutely fine. Now for sticking this one, I'm using my Mod Podge, and just to make my application precise, here I am using my Mod Podge, and I'm just putting up a line of Mod Podge and sticking this really well so that it sticks well to my base. Now I will be repeating this process on all around my boxes. If you want, you can have more number of layers or the lesser number of layers. You can even do it just on the front part, but I preferred having it on all the sides so that it looks gorgeous. Now honestly, while I was doing this, I really got this feeling that it is more of adding a pom-pom to your project. So yeah, this looked really cute, and of course this silicone mold is something which I really loved buying recently, and you can do this in so many versatile ways. So yeah, do check this mold. I have of course mentioned the link to buy this mold in the description box, and I'm sure you are going to like it. So here I am done with my drying process of my clay. Now for the inner part, I am going to take up these kitchen towels. So these are the tissue paper kitchen towels, and I'm just going to put this inside my box. Now honestly, you can chuck this part, or you can paint it, or you can have the same process of what I'm doing inside. Either you can have a printed napkins also, but I knew that I'm going to use this for keeping up the stuff. So I just felt that having even the plain white napkin is going to help. So I just pull up my kitchen towels, and I'm going to have this on my base. Now I'm applying generous amount of my decoupage glue on the bottom part and the sides, and once I'm happy with this, then I'm going to stick my paper. Now the kitchen towel has 2 to 3 layers, so yeah, it was a little difficult for me to stick it, but if you do it honestly very nicely, because I was very casual when I was doing this step of this box, so yeah, please bear with me. And I hope you are going to do this really seriously. So just cutting off the excessive paper from the boxes, and once I am done with that, then I'm going to add a little more decoupage glue on the inner sides. And of course you have to seal it with the varnish because that's really important. Now you just need to make sure that the edges have been sealed and sticked really well, because once it sticks well, it is not going to come out at all unless until you tear it apart. So yeah, do seal it well, and it's so good to go. And these kind of organizers are such easy and the best way to have a nice organized table. Now my checkered stamps are one of the best companion when it comes to covering up the empty spaces. So just to give a rustic look, I'm just doing my background stamping with my permanent ink pad, and this is a massive stamp which I'm using right now, and I'm going to make sure that it just sticks well to my pages around. And once this is done, then I'm going to have this beautiful cotton lace. Now I'm going to have this on one part of my so just in case if you want, you can use your satin ribbons, you can use your organza ribbons, you can use any kind of paper laces or the cuttings or the die cuts, and it should look good. At the end, I'm going to use one of the raisin embellishment which I had made earlier. Either you can color this up, but I just felt that this is going to be a perfect one for my base. So yes, with this my video tutorial is done. I hope you all enjoyed this session, and yes, I'm going to do the varnish here. You can do this at least 2 coat of varnish in this box, and it works perfectly. Of course, I have listed down all the supplies down in the description box. Do check that and let me know in the comment section if you want me to come up with any other kind of tutorials, and I'm sure I would be able to inspire you to use your anything old cardboard boxes or the containers to use it in a very productive way and come up with something really interesting. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. Bye bye.